Welcome to SHOWBIZ, our first one.
Why are you shouting?
Of 2020, is it not?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Oh,
I think we
one.
did one in the week after New Year's.
Oh,
didn't we? It was
okay.
like, what was everyone up to in New Year's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, all of the SHOWBIZ pages I've noticed, I keep hunting around for stories, have been gobbled up with the bloody Harry and Meghan story, which, let's face it, for those of you who don't understand, I am not interested in the royal family that much, but this is seismic times, guys.
Yes, it is.
It's seismic. And the weirdest part for me about it all is that in a weird way, it feels like Harry has lit the litmus paper on a story that is becoming more like the story revolving around his mum. But he feels like he's created the monster. It's like Dr. Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster.
Maybe.
No, but he's not.
I know.
He's not
he
in
feels
control.
Like he is.
No, I know, but this is lunacy.
At this minute, he feels like he is.
And I think you've got evidence to prove.
Well, I mean, you know, here we go.
Go on,
this is what we said, wasn't it? That actually, when you do a big statement about removing yourself from the press and the attention, what happens? More attention.
Yeah.
So, in fact, we haven't ever seen these kinds of photos of Meghan Markle.
Oh.
If you think about it, here she is, you can see now. Here she is with baby Archie. First time we've seen her since the announcement with her dogs.
Very happy.
Two security behind her, what they call personal detectives.
Not detectives.
They called
security, personal security.
There's another bodyguards. And in fact, a couple of my friends of mine that are journalists, and some of them that have worked in royal circles and stuff, say and they always say this, there's been a huge amount of respect with photographing the pair of them. We don't see off-the-cuff photos of them at all. But here we are. This is the first photos of Meghan Markle, and I'm sorry to say it, that is very Pap style.
Well, she's looking directly into camera now.
Yeah, she's caught the camera. She knows the camera's there. But we'll see a lot of this now.
Well,
this is
precisely what I said.
She was protected because they were in the royal family.
Much money. There will be so much money for the first images of them this side of the news story.
Imagine how much they got for that photo. It's a lovely photo. The two dogs, the baby. She looks really happy, and you do feel quite excited for them because then we go on and we see Harry. The photos of Harry arriving straight off the back of his last engagement. He was on a plane, 10-hour flight, and then a private flight over to the island that they're on, to their 10 million mansion, £10 million mansion that they're staying in at the moment. And he looks like he's got that look of glee, of lovers re-meeting. And I really hope it works out for them. But I fear what we're going to see is there's even moving image. I mean, when have we ever seen moving image of Meghan Markle and the baby?
No, well...
That hasn't been within the confines of a royal engagement.
Well, in a weird way, I think what we're going to start to witness now, and we're already witnessing it, is the respect that they were being afforded, as you say.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be underlined how unobtrusive the press were, because now, in a weird way, they've kind of said, we are just ordinary fodder. Come get us.
Now, that's not to say that the press in print haven't been, very intrusive, and there's been awful stories.
Look, here's the footage.
But look, I have never seen footage like this of Meghan. Not when they were going out. They were enormously respectful to Harry. The press love Harry, and he had a very good relationship with them. They would go down the pub, all of this sort of stuff. But this...
if that wasn't staged, and if she wasn't in control of it, though she looks incredibly...
it's a lovely photo.
I mean, she looks gorgeous. But I'd shoot I wouldn't shoot. Well, I'd employ new security guards, because they're not doing their job properly.
Yeah, but
where's the guy down this end?
But they're private people.
Where's the guy this end?
They're public people now. In a public place. She's in a park. This isn't in their home. She's in a park.
Oh, dearie me. Lots of photos.
And you know, here we are looking at them. She's gorgeous. Yeah, it's a lovely baby. It's lovely dogs. We're looking at them. Yeah. Oh, I pray for them that they're going to be all right.
Is this a huge story? This must be a huge story.
This is a huge story.
Because I'm finding the photos intriguing.
This is him, the first time out of, since... What would we call him now?
Well, since
public,
stepping back from his royal duties. I mean,
there's been a lot made in the press that he's dashed away and left Prince William in his first solo official engagement at Buckingham Palace.
But here's the
But
problem
I think
with the press.
I don't think he would have been there anyway.
My problem with the press with all of this is that you can read you can have a negative skew on any image or any action. You can read everything and define everything by what isn't done or hasn't happened. So, for example, William might be doing his first engagement without Harry, but they both might be absolutely fine about that. But by simply stating it, it sounds like Harry's done something.
Yes, it's made it sound like he's left his brother in the lurch.
Here's another point. So in some of these shots, he's walking across the tarmac smiling. That could be massive relief and freedom. But I bet you any money people will choose, or could choose, this is where trolling happens, could choose to read that as disrespectful, couldn't care less, wants to, a disregard for his grandmother, a disregard for the carnage he's left behind.
This is the kind of magnifying glass that I fear they will be under, the speculation. And I know it's odd because we're talking about it. But this is what is going to happen.
It's happening.
You know what I hope for them? I hope that I hope it will just all settle down.
Yeah.
But I think they need to probably go really quiet for a while.
So here's the thing, royalty or not royalty, you decide. Without the HRH, are they still royalty? I mean, here's the thing that gets me about the whole story. HRH or not HRH, they're still Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. They're still the Duke of Sussex or whatever, the Duchess of Sussex.
Rumour has it that the Queen didn't want them to have that either.
Well, yeah, but ostensibly nothing's going to change. They're going to become the royal of Hollywood.
Yeah, they are. And our American fans that watch, it's really funny what's going on here now. This is so British. Because where the comma has been put is in Meghan Markle's, the Duchess of title, is where the comma is placed if you are a divorced woman. So there's a whole...
How do you know that, really?
Because I read that. So there's a whole thing now. What's it? Duchess of Sussex to Meghan Markle is the way around that you'd have it if you were a divorcee.
There's a comma pause.
There's a comma mistake. So
infers
that's
divorce.
So that's but it's a mistake. So that's what's under discussion now. Where are they going to put the comma?
Who'd have thought a comma was only in our country?
I love it. It's so bloody
signifies
British.
So much. There you go. That's the Brits for you. Okay. Well, royalty of one type, whether they are or not, is one thing. To royalty of another type, and we're at the SAG Awards now. It's a really unfortunate name, SAG Awards. Do you know what it stands for?
I thought it was the Saga Awards when I first.
Do you know what it stands for? Screen Actors Guild. Awards. So it principally revolves around acting. So you're not looking at Best Picture awards and all that kind of stuff. So it really is where the good and the famous, the good and the great all go, rub shoulders. Now you hate these sort of lovey things, don't you?
Oh, I love looking at everybody. The speeches.
Do you like attending them though? You must look quite like attending them. No? Oh, okay. So
boring as hell.
Boring as hell. Well, okay. Well, it's a great opportunity. I thought, to have a good old nose and a mooch around. Morning. A nose and a mooch around the photos that were taken. And there are some pretty spectacular off-the-cuff, behind-the-scenes ones too.
It's interesting, isn't it? That things now when we get so many photographs on social media and we get stars sharing the behind the scenes, that seems to have transferred also to the award shows where they're much more relaxed about photos. We always felt we just got...
Yeah, I think they have a sanctioned photographer who runs around taking
still
beautiful
capturing
photos.
Them off the cuff.
I'm sure they have final approval and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so, I mean, really, you can't talk about the SAG Awards this year without really homing in on, and we'll have a little look at all the other people in a minute, but let's home in on the biggest story of the night, which was Brad Pitt winning for Best Supporting Actor in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's Brad Pitt's year. He's clearly going to get the Oscar, Golden Globe and that. Good on him. And showing some wit. I always felt there was a more sophisticated chap in there, and he's struck his 50s in stride, and I've got his T-shirt.
I loved his speech. He said, this was a huge, huge stretch for me. This was really, really difficult. This was a guy that didn't have his shirt on, that didn't get along with his wife.
Bit of a dig at Angelina there.
Yeah, and then he said that he was going to put the award on his Tinder.
I love that detail.
On his Tinder.
And what's lovely about that is you cut back to Quentin Tarantino's table, they are all pissing themselves
laughing.
On,
let's not cut back to Quentin Tarantino. Let's cut back to Jennifer Aniston.
No, I know.
It was like this.
I know.
Oh my God, she was like so in love with him.
So she was chuffed for him.
Because he got the biggest laugh. I mean, all his peers were howling with laughter.
How's Angelina taking that?
Well, the Sun says today that a source says how much do we believe that?
HP sauce.
A source says that she will be feel hugely disrespected by this. She would never poke fun at their marriage, and especially in a room full of their peers. So a source says she's not very happy.
See, as a fickle follower of fashion, that's me. I really loved Angelina. You know, I loved Angelina, and yet I worry. Do you think it suits the press now to have this sort of sour-lipped, humorless
like they did to
portrait?
Jennifer.
But I'm recalling the portrait we had of Jennifer at the time being drawn here.
Sad and just... And she said, look, I'm having a great life, can everyone stop calling me sad?
Yeah.
But the thing is here, I think this.
What?
What about if Angelina had laughed her head off, and that was one of the things that she absolutely loved about Brad, was that this way that he could have a dark laugh at something.
Yeah.
I would find that funny.
I love the idea of going to his Tinder page. I love the idea of Brad Pitt having a Tinder page. Imagine that. I think I'd swipe up.
Except they've got, because I know a couple of people
They have
that are
celebrity
on it.
Tinder.
Oh my God, there's an A-list one.
The better thing was, so Brad went up and she looked all lovey-dovey and dewy-eyed. But when
I think she also looked incredibly warm.
Yeah, she did.
And like she really liked him. And it was like, have a look at it. I don't think we're allowed to put it on here, are we?
No, we're not, no.
But go and have a look at it. I think there's such a sweet look in her eyes.
No, but what I have got footage of is this, which came up on Twitter last night, and I got our lovely Michelle to rip it off and send it to us. So when Brad was backstage with his award and Jennifer Aniston got hers, this is what happened. He actively stopped to watch.
Oh my gosh, this is so unbelievable. What a room, you know.
His face, because he was smiling.
I was thinking back to when I was a little girl and I didn't have a VCR, but...
So he
my
actively
God.
stopped
I
on his
haven't
way
seen
to the
that.
press room, and look, there's a shot of him just looking dewy-eyed up at the television. I love that. There's something about that. It's very
just
intimate.
Backstage.
That's
haven't
backstage.
seen that one.
No, it was on Twitter.
That's really
But
good.
the photos are glorious. I mean, that moment there, which was on our Popcorn Junkies Instagram, these moments, but look, hang on a minute. I didn't see these ones where...
She goes to go and he catches her hand.
Well, look, let's have a little... Should we zoom in on that? Look at that.
Oh, don't
Look
go
at
yet,
that.
Jen.
But let's just flick to the morning after, shall we?
This is what Jennifer put on her Twitter or Instagram, I'm not sure. And of course, fans went wild, saying, well, we hope Brad took off that dress. Everyone wants this romance back, don't they? We all love a bit of romance.
You know what's in the bath?
I love the blood.
Do you know what's in the bath?
What?
His SAG award.
Maybe.
That would have been the giveaway side, 2 SAG awards.
I just couldn't stop looking at the bath. Look what she looks out at when she's lying in her bath, right in the... Or is it in the garden?
It's an egg. Yeah, it's an outdoor spa, really. Look at that.
God.
Look at the tap, babe.
Wouldn't you just love that life?
Yeah.
Look at those shoes.
I'd love that award.
Look at that gown.
But anyway, yes, so inside the SAG awards, but there are just so many. Let's have a flick through. There's Joaquin Phoenix with Taron
looking
Egerton.
so happy.
Sort of...
Taron Egerton from Rocket Man.
Yeah, sort of
played
obviously saying, sorry you didn't win, mate, but you know what? There's always a next time. Taron going, oh man, I really want to be in a DC film. Look, Elizabeth Moss cutting some
Proving
moves
that
there.
she's broken free from the restraints of her role.
Yeah, she's out and about.
What's the name?
Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale.
Look at that, David Harbour stepping out with Lily Allen. She doesn't look very happy though, doesn't she?
Boobs look very happy.
Maybe that accounts for him looking quite happy too. Robert De Niro
Who looks exactly like Dexter Fletcher now.
Yeah, and looks younger almost with
Dexter
every time I
Fletcher
see him.
directed Rocket Man.
That's a weird award. I don't know how I'd feel about that award on my mantelpiece.
Yeah.
Look, this is it. I don't know if I'd want that. He's looking a bit shocked, isn't he? Lupita Nyong'o,
He's just so
wonderful
beautiful.
in Us.
So,
She was
so
so good. If you haven't seen Us, do check it out. Look, there's Joaquin saying, yeah, can you go and put this alongside all the other ones and make space for my Oscar, please? She's saying, yeah.
It's a lovely, actually, look, it's a lovely statue. Look, it's holding
is.
the two
It's holding the
theatre
two
masks.
theatre masks, yeah.
It's a bit weird. 'Cause
He
it's
doesn't
all
look
about
like he
the
wants to
film.
let go of it, does he?
He doesn't.
No. Oh, look, he's
Him
now...
and Brad.
Him and Brad, he's sort of saying, now look, matey, if you're going to pull Jennifer Aniston, be kind to her. Be kind to her and be loving. There's Leonardo DiCaprio with his remarkable co-star from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She is remarkable, and her scene, which is pretty much one big scene, is a scene stealer.
She is stunning.
Oh, look, and there's Taika Waititi. There's Taika Waititi with Emily Hampshire. Taika Waititi, Jojo Rabbit, if you haven't seen it, it's absolutely brilliant. There's Dexter with Tom Hanks and Taron Egerton. Look at him.
Dexter and I knew each other years ago.
That's
I'm
lovely.
so happy
Elizabeth
for
Moss
him.
still going. So let's bring us back crunchingly down to earth back in the UK with none other than Naz in Love Island.
Now, the only reason we're doing this story,
The contrast couldn't be larger.
It's not really showbiz, but showbiz.
On the SHOWBIZ
We're
GPS
showbiz.
map, we've
But
just gone around the globe.
I love this title. Find someone for him or I'm suing. Love Island's Naz is branded a national treasure by viewers as fans vow to riot if he's kicked off the show.
The girls do go, oh, when
we
he's on.
love him so much. And so I just love that title. I thought that was really sweet.
Why is
much
he
more
not?
to
Can I
say
just
about
ask
it.
you? Well, there is a bit to say about it. He's very sweet. I think he seems very sweet. Is he too
Well,
sweet?
you know what? It shows the mess up of the world again.
Do you think?
The problem is here, none of the girls fancy him because he's too short and he's too nice.
That's remarkable,
It's
isn't
disgusting.
it? And he's self-deprecating too.
Yeah,
Not
he's
self-deprecating,
funny.
but
I
self-deprecating.
do think they'll live to regret it.
I do
think
too.
people will start to fancy him. It's that old
Yeah.
thing, and that's why I think it's really important he stays in the show because we want to show that you can have those first opinions
I
of
agree.
somebody, and then
And I thought in the stripping off scene, he was
you
quite
get to
respectful.
know who they
wasn't it?
are,
Yeah.
and then they're like, he was so respectful in the stripping off scene. He's really special. So
I'd have you, Naz.
we'll lead the charge.
I like Naz. Come on,
If
let's.
you are thrown out,
Yeah,
Naz.
let's
Naz
vote
cannot
for Naz
go.
to be saved because he seems like a sweet chap. Anyway, there you go. I'm going to go and put my Brad Pitt t-shirt on and I'm going to make imaginary speeches for when I accept my SAG award.
I'm going to go and have a crumpet.
Should we have crumpet?